spent 5 nights at sea getting to San Francisco, most of it in fog. Then all of a sudden, we arrived. Sun, wind, and civilization. We got a very nice sail under the Bay Bridge and then decided to tie up at South Beach Harbor. We checked in, had a shower, and set off on a scouting mission to see what we could see. There's lots to see. After 2 nights on the dock, we decided to move to an anchorage off the north beach of the city. The aquatic park is fantastic. It's only $10 a night and gives you excellent access to the heart of the city.
The anchorage in the aquatic park is super handy. You can bring your dinghy up on the beach here, and it's behind a gate, so it's got some security. If you wanted to get here and bypass the security, you'd have to swim around the end of this pier here. So it's pretty good, and getting in is easy. You just if you come after the gates close, you just phone the security guard, they'll let you in. And there's this handy, it looks like a dead palm that you can tie or lock your dinghy up to.
We spent our 3rd day in San Francisco just wandering around. Rob and Denise were out doing their own thing, so it was just Lori and I. We put a lot of miles on very quickly, all by foot, exploring like it would all disappear if we weren't quick. We went to Lombard Street to watch the cars go down the curvy hill, checked out Fisherman's Wharf, perused the architecture, and enjoyed the vibe of this beautiful city. The next day was Rob and Denise's last day in San Francisco, so we joined them for a trip out to Berkeley to see the Botanical Gardens.
We took the Bay Area Rapid Transit, better known as BART, out to downtown Berkeley, went out for lunch, and now we're wandering around Berkeley's grounds. Apparently there's a really nice botanical garden up at the top of the hill, and we're gonna go see that. It's really hot out, and just walking around in the sunshine is actually pretty tiring. We're at Berkeley's Botanical Garden, and the trip up here was...
Character building. It was character building.
Yeah, it was insane.
It's in the 90s degrees. The sun is pounding down. There's a little bit of breeze, and every once in a while a tiny bit of shade. So we're going to go explore the coolest part of the Botanical Garden in the cedars.
Yeah, there is no Arctic Tundra exhibition, so we're going to have to sell ourselves for something else.
Shaded cedars.
Shaded cedars.
The touristic frenzy didn't stop when Rob and Denise set out for home. One of the most obvious things to do when visiting San Francisco is to take a trip out to Alcatraz. The island is a national park and access is provided by ferry for $50 apiece. We all know of Alcatraz as a federal maximum security prison, but it only served that function for 29 years. Before that, it was a military base and later a military prison. The idea that swimming ashore is impossible is false. Hundreds of people do it every year. However, only one of the 36 prisoners who tried to escape are known to have made it ashore. He was caught lying on the beach, hypothermic and exhausted. 5 more escapees are unaccounted for and are presumed drowned.
These ships are anchored in the same spot we are. Well, they're actually not anchored, they're tied to the Hyde Street Pier right behind our boat. And it's $10 a night for us to stay on the hook in the aquatic park. And apparently that includes access to these boats, so we're going to go take a look at them. Should be a lot of fun. So this steam-powered tug tows its sister ship all the way around Cape Horn.
We're in the galley, tugboat. sink with a hand pump and a coal-fired stove to do all the cooking for all the crew.
It's super interesting seeing the conditions that sailors lived in 120 years ago. And it's kind of a wonder that this, moving around the world in tall ships under sail power, ever morphed into recreational sailing as we know it. Because the conditions that people lived in on these boats was kind of horrific.
We did sail to a couple of other anchorages in the bay, but kept going back to the aquatic park for its easy access to the city. Our pace did slow down, it had to, and we developed a routine that consisted of relaxing till lunch and then going for a 2 or 3 hour walk, usually to a new neighborhood. The main attraction on these walks was often the Victorian architecture. These 7 homes are called the Painted Ladies. They draw a crowd because they've had starring roles in movies and TV. One of the coolest things we saw was the Palace of Fine Arts, a neo-Roman installation not far from the Golden Gate Bridge. The palace was built in 1915 for a World's Fair, and like the Eiffel Tower before it, it was meant to be temporary. Thankfully, it survived the intervening century so that residents and visitors can still enjoy it. We also enjoyed just going out for a coffee. Our favorite place was the Italian neighborhood, where you could just sit and watch the people walk by.
So we've been in San Francisco 2 weeks now, and I gotta say this is an amazing city. The architecture is fantastic. It's always been clean and we've always felt safe, which go against some of the things that you might have heard on the news. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I think we lucked out too because the weather's been really nice. It was super hot when we got here and it's been warm enough to wear shorts and a t-shirt every day. But we got the wanderlust, so we're heading out of here probably in 2 days' time and heading out underneath the bridge again and heading south. We wanted to leave San Francisco 3 days ago on a Friday, but we started looking at the weather on Tuesday or Wednesday and noticed that there was this low, quite a tight low, that was forecast to come straight down the coast. So we're stuck here probably until next Thursday, which is 6 days longer than we thought. Right now, the low is right off the entrance to San Francisco Bay, and this is one of the squalls passing through. The anchorage that we're in is nice and safe. We saw strong winds yesterday from the west, and I think it's blowing pretty good from the south right now, but we're feeling nothing. Just bunches of rain. It's September 22nd. We arrived here on Friday the 2nd. Today's a Thursday, so that makes 3 weeks in this beautiful city, San Francisco. It's kind of hard to leave. We feel really comfortable here. We feel safe. We know where everything is. It's easy to find cheap places to put the boat and go ashore and feel confident that everything will still be there when we come back. And the weather's been fantastic. So I think it's been abnormally warm for San Francisco. Every day in shorts and t-shirts pretty much. With the exception of one storm that moved through last weekend. Anyways, today is a pretty short day. We're going to Half Moon Bay, which is about 20 miles down the coast once we clear San Francisco Bay, go under the bridge here. And the weather today is looking pretty good. We're supposed to have 10 to 20 knots. It's supposed to be kind of gusty, but I don't think we'll see the forecast gusts of 30 knots because I think the forecast area is too big and those probably happen farther offshore. But if we do, we're good to go, and should arrive in Half Moon Bay around dinner time.
When you said don't go, it was almost closing time. Put up all the chairs and put out the sign. Girl, I'm still in love and